Welcome to Your Health. I'm your host, Rhonda Alfred, and joining us on this episode is Allison Bacheron, nurse practitioner from Terrebonne General Multi-Specialty Clinic in Gray. We will be discussing annual wellness visits, which are designed to help you develop or update a personalized prevention plan to keep you healthy. Welcome to the show, Allison.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Well, great. I'm glad you could be here. Let's get started with you telling us more about yourself and your role at Terrebonne General.
Okay, so I'm a family nurse practitioner. I've been one for 10 years. I'm at Terrebonne General. I work in the multi-specialty clinic in Gray, where I do family and internal medicine. So from kids all the way through, we see. And basically, we do a lot of wellness and preventive care as well.
Okay. All right. Well, today we're talking about an important subject, an annual wellness visit. Can you tell us why is this important and what happens at the annual wellness visit?
Yeah, sure. So for annual wellness visits, insurance companies are really into preventive and wellness care now, which is great because we need to focus on that. And so basically, the patient comes in once a year. We make sure that they are up to date on all their health maintenance and like preventive screenings. And then we also make sure all their diagnoses have been submitted for that year to their insurance, as well as their medications are up to date. And then if you are a certain age, like 65 typically or higher, we like to do Alzheimer's and dementia kind of screening so we can see quick changes that can happen.
Okay. So what is the difference between an annual physical and an annual wellness visit?
Well, that's good because a lot of people say, well, I just saw my doctor, so why do I need to do this? It is different because it focuses more on making sure, again, that the diagnoses are submitted because your insurance companies need to know how sick truly you are, how well you are. So we want to make sure that they know that everything, even chronic stuff, is updated, as well as making sure that, colon cancer screenings are done, lipid panels, certain diseases that you have, if, there's certain medications that you need to be on to make sure that all that is up to date.
Okay, I guess that makes sense then.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And are there any necessary preparations that someone should prepare for a wellness visit?
Yeah, sure. So for the wellness visit, what they do is we actually have a questionnaire that we send out because we focus on community needs as well. Depression and anxiety is a lot of the questions. Is there financial situations, transportation, food? So we have questionnaires that we send out. So either they can do it online on their MyChart or we physically give it to them at the office. And then bringing your medications. A list is great, but we really like to touch those bottles if we can to make sure that everything is accurate.
Okay, so it's okay to bring in the Ziploc with
we
everything
actually
in it.
have some bags we can give them because it's important to really get our hands on to see what meds are there.
Okay, so can you provide some examples about what type of preventive screenings are performed at the wellness visit?
Yeah, so we basically check to make sure, is your colonoscopy up to date? A lot of people maybe don't want to do a colonoscopy and they qualify for Cologuard, which is something we can do. Your lipid panel, if you're a diabetic, are you on a statin to help, or an ACE inhibitor to help protect your kidneys? Mammograms, PSAs for prostate screenings. A lot of it is cancer prevention, but it's also prevention for cardiovascular health and then just overall wellness. And then again, the Alzheimer's and dementia to make sure if there's any quick change, we can notice that from looking year to year at certain things. They do a clock drawing test, which is really,
okay.
and we give them 3 words and they repeat them to us and then repeat them again 10 minutes later. So a lot of that helps us catch on to things that maybe we wouldn't see till later and we can help prevent it.
Yeah, that was my next question. Why is it so important to have this yearly wellness check?
Well, it's very
like what
important
you're
because of
saying.
what we just said. And again, the diagnoses being submitted is very important as well as just overall wellness. But it's not just for Medicare. I like to tell people when we're kids, we have to go for wellness exams. And then why? Because we're 18, we don't need to go anymore. It's still important. So that's why it's very important for a wellness exam.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So how can people make the most of their visits and ensure that all their concerns are addressed?
I always recommend make a list. If you have questions, write it down. This is a very long visit. We have an hour that is put, aside for it. So the nurse and I are able to actually take the time and answer all their questions.
Okay, and are these visits covered by insurance or Medicare?
Yes, so Medicare 100% is definitely encouraging this. All managed Medicare and Medicare for sure. And then other insurance companies are actually getting to do this as well. They realize the benefit of preventive and wellness instead of waiting until people have problems to treat them.
Okay, and what are some common things that you find that you can see at a wellness visit?
A lot of stuff that I find is just misconceptions about a lot of preventive screenings. They don't realize that it's really not as bad as maybe they thought, or what is the benefit of it. Also, education on medications. We can do community resources for finances. And most insurances, especially Medicare, will actually have gift cards and things that they will give people because they really want to incentivize that people come do this wellness visit.
So it's a very informative visit. I mean, an hour with a practitioner. You can
Yes.
ask any questions you might have. So what's 3 main takeaways you'd like people to know about coming to a wellness visit?
Yeah, the biggest thing is that it is very important. It's very important to catch little bitty things that maybe we don't see on just a regular visit when we're just going to see our doctor every 6 months or 3 months or a year. Also, that bring your medications, ask the questions. This is the time. We love to educate, we love to teach. And then preventive health is very important no matter what age we are. We look at family history to make sure that everything is up to date so we can actually take care of problems before they start.
Okay, so tell us how we can schedule a wellness visit with you.
Sure. So you can actually call any of the offices, but I'm located in the Gray office. So it's 873 Gray with an A. That's how I remember it. And the other thing would be that we actually do virtual visits as well. It doesn't have to be in person.
Okay.
So as long as you have MyChart or even an iPhone, but mainly we prefer MyChart, you are able to actually get these visits done. So that's a huge, huge thing. But yes, calling our office is fine.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this education about wellness visits.
Of course, it's something I'm passionate about. So definitely wellness is important.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
For more information or to schedule an annual wellness appointment, visit tghealthsystem.com. Thank you for joining us on Interior Health. I'm your host, Rhonda Alfred, and I'll see you right back here next week.